Hello, my name is Rodney. I'm from the pOedGamerQuehegan YouTube channel, and today I'm going over something that I've been meaning to do for quite some time. As many of you know, I pick up a lot of retro items, and every so often I do get something that doesn't quite work. This time, it's going to be like a Sega Genesis controller. Picked it up at a yard sale. It actually looks pretty good, but the down direction doesn't really work on the control pad. So what we're going to do today is we are actually going to take this controller apart, look at it, see if we can figure out what's wrong, and hopefully get it taken care of. But yeah, the controller looks in pretty good condition. I mean, some of the screws, they have like the top of them have rust on them, so there may have been something spilled on this controller. I'm not sure, but we'll find out when we open it up and readjust the camera, and we'll get to it. Okay, we have the camera readjusted. To do this, you just need a few tools. Some cotton swabs, Q-tips, a Phillips head screwdriver, and some alcohol. And, well, you need the controller also. But basically first, there's 6 screws in the back. Let's go ahead and take all those out. Normally I just leave the screws inside the back of the controller because the circuit board isn't attached to the back. It's actually not actually attached to anything inside. It's just kind of held in with pegs. Okay. The reason why I leave them in there is because the screws will actually stay in this and I won't lose them. So that way when I put them back on, I know where they all go. Alright. Now, the inside of a Sega Genesis controller is very basic. And there's not much to it. It shows you here the controls, like here's your up, down, right, left. Got your different buttons here and your start button there. Let's go ahead and take this out. And it's the down direction, so it is actually this one here. If it'll focus. Yeah, I think it'll focus there. Maybe trying to focus behind it. But yeah, this is the pad here. And it doesn't look, yeah, it does. It looks like there might be something spilt on it. But it looks like they got it off pretty quickly. Let's see. Oh yeah, most definitely. This is very dusty. Let's see, can I get that to focus? Yeah, it's very dusty and you can actually see some residue on the contacts themselves. So, what I'm going to do is get a bit of alcohol. I generally pour it into the lid because I don't want to stick this into the big container. And I'll never actually stick the dirty end back into that because I do put it back on top of the bottle. So basically I'll rub all those contacts with the alcohol, kind of running, because there's so much dust on this, I'm kind of rubbing all over also. That one seems a little damaged. If you don't know if you can see that or not. Try to zoom in. Not sure if you can see it, but like right there, looks like some of the contacts actually worn off. I'm looking at, trying to look at it a little closer. I'm not sure if that's something on it. Will it focus again? There we are. Trying to see if it'll actually rub off or if it's actually just pitted. Let's get the other end of the Q-tip and we will try a little bit more. And I know some people like to use Windex and different things. I've always used alcohol. I've never had any issues. I've heard some people say they've had certain issues I've never actually known anybody to have any. But on the internet you read about different things, about people having different issues. So yeah, just clean all the contacts. I think a better thing is actually contact cleaner that an electrician would use. Okay, as you see, let's see if I don't. We got a lot of dirt on the Q-tip on both ends. So let me zoom back out. So I mean, that looked like it got pretty good. And there was some stuff on the, because this is down here. So that's pretty good. That's got all that come off pretty good. So what I want to do is actually take this, because yeah, look, it may not. I'm not sure if it's something spilled on it or if that's oils and skin from like years and years of somebody playing this game, because that is supposed to be the same color as that. So yeah, so it's black here, but there's a lot of something on the that pad. Let's see, and probably all the buttons are probably the same way. Yeah, the buttons, the top of the button, like whoever had it, soon to be wiped the controller off a bit, but they couldn't get inside of it. So yeah, I'm actually going to take these and wash all of it with some good soap and water. The reason why I think something might have spilled on it, let me actually find it. There's actually one of the screws. If you look, some of the screws, well, my camera doesn't want to seem to focus on anything. Seem to have a lot of rust on them. So basically, I'm going to take all the screws out this time and put them in a little Ziploc bag, and take the rest of the plastic components and give them a good washing. And we'll be back, we'll put the controller back together. But as you can see, the controller is very basic. I mean, this goes on here like this. These just, whoop, drop that one. These just set on the buttons themselves. Even the one to the start button is the same one. So you don't have to worry about mixing those up or anything. Let me give all this stuff a good scrubbing, and we'll be back. Okay, we've washed everything, let it dry. Actually took me a few times to wash everything to get all the stuff off of it. But to put this thing back together, it's kind of easy. So if you look on the buttons, there's a big tab and a small tab. And on the controller, they correspond. Like there's a big tab at the top and a small tab at the bottom. So basically the B, make sure you put them, this helps you make sure you put it in the right way. So the big tab goes to the bottom, B goes in the middle, C, this one's different because it's angled differently, goes like that. Oh, no, I had it backwards. It's like that. A, yeah, this one is something you kind of watch for, because when you put it in, so you know that it actually goes in correctly. If you don't, when you put it in, because this one actually will go in backwards. When you do, it looks like that, which is not correct. So when you put it in, make sure it actually follows the contours of the controller. So then you just basically, sorry about that, my card became full. So basically, once you put all the buttons back in, everything will line up. And then you just put the little things on top of the buttons. This one doesn't really have a, it just falls in. Make sure you put this the correct direction so that the black things are pointing up and not the gray things, because these are what actually make contact with the circuit board. And the circuit board I actually cleaned a lot more, because it appeared that somebody had spilt like some kind of a pop or cola or something like that on it. And it goes in here pretty easily. So line it up, and route the cable back through this little. Trying to go around the camera. It's kind of difficult. There we are. Put the back on. And then just put your 6 screws back in. Alright, and now I'll just test it, make sure all the directions, nothing seems to be sticking. Let's work. Yep, everything seems to be working. And I did notice one spot here on the controller, but it actually looks like there's just something on it. I thought it was actually burnt, but it's, well, actually so I can get to focus there. Where's the zoom? There we are. Come on, focus. There we are. But yeah, right there, I thought that was actually something not wrong with the cable, but it's actually just something on the cable itself. But let's go ahead and plug this in and test it out the game and see if we've actually fixed our controller. Alright, we are now here. I'm starting up Beavis and Butthead on the Sega Genesis to test this with. The reason why is because it is one of the few games on the Sega Genesis that I have sitting right in front of me that I can actually move around like in all directions. It also allows me to test all the buttons pretty quickly. Like I have other games, I basically have just 3 sitting right in front of me: Tasmania, Fantasia, and the Beavis and Butthead. I think the Beavis and Butthead would be these to test with. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. And let's just hit start to it. The start button works really well. Okay, left, right, up, and down. Yeah, I mean, I'm barely touching the buttons and they're actually working really well. Let's see, I think it was A to run. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, barely holding A down. Let's see, I think it was, yeah, B jumps. Yep, that's working very easily. And C, I think it's the burp. Yep. I mean, I'm pressing as lightly as I can, and everything's working. This is awesome. Because before, the start button would work, but you had to really hammer on it. The down would work, but you had to press down, and it would take it. There's like about a second delay before it would actually work. So yeah, all the directions are working. We have actually successfully taken care of this. And I'm very happy about that. And we will now. Let me remove my camera back to my desk. Alright, well, we have our controller taken care of. That wasn't too bad. This is something I have to do not fairly often because these controllers are pretty robust. I mean, I really only have to do this if, like this one seemed to have something spilled on it. But normally if things have been spilled on the controller, they pretty much work. I mean, these aren't like the new, like a PS4 controller. I wouldn't even attempt to take apart. I've seen videos on the internet, people taking these things apart, and all the stuff that's inside of these make this, the difference is drastic. So, yeah. Old controllers like this, I don't mind taking apart. These, I will not. But, now that we've done that, this should be the first in the series. I'm actually want to do my Atari 7800, I believe, is a system I got. It actually works. It's just that It's really dirty. Looks like it's been in somebody's basement for a very long time. So that'll be my next project. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. The links are in the description. I'm at pOedGamer on Twitter at pOedGamer. On Instagram, I'm pOedGamer. Let's see. Also, I have a new email address for viewer mail. It's vmail at pOedGamer.com. That'll also be down in the description. You can send me an email there if you want to ask me any questions. Let's see. There's a few things I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make some changes and trying to do a few little things on my channel and do some more stuff. I release 2 videos a week at the minimum. Sometimes more. I try to at least do 2. I'd like to get to the point where I can at least release 1 a day, but time constraints right now are making it to where I can't. So yeah, there'll be gameplay, there's going to be board games, and there's going to be some little restore things like this coming up. Also, if you like the video, give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I will be doing a lot more videos like this in the future. Like I said, again, the viewer mail, that will be something new. When I start getting some viewer mail questions, I'll actually start reading them on camera, and we will start answering them together. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, and till next time.